Hi guys, Keith Arkenberg Farms. It is the first week of October, which means it's time to start planting my garlic. Let me show you. So we save our own seed here on the farm. So initially I bought in some garlic seed. Had a few given to me as well, so those have kind of gotten lost in the mix. I do know that I have hardneck, which you can tell is hardneck because it has the stem in the middle where the scape went out, and some softneck. The main hardneck I have is German red and Spanish red, and then the softneck, I'm not 100% certain what kind it is. I think it's music, but I'm not even sure if that's softneck. But either way, I've got a whole bunch of it planted. I'll show you first how to get the seed out and get ready to start planting. So this is the most labor intensive part, at least for me, of planting garlic, is you've got to get the seed out, which is the individual cloves. I actually know how easily this is coming apart, that this is Spanish red, because the German does not peel this easy. So what I do, I have one container where I drop the skins into, and then I'll have another container that I drop the actual cloves into. And this is what we actually plant. So we'll plant one of these in each spot 2 inches deep. Usually go through, I break off some off one side, and I grab the whole thing and twist out this intersection, revealing the basal end, trying not to break into it, and then just splitting them up. Throw them in a bag. I usually do this a day or so before. Then go out planting. Now for us, we typically only do one bed of garlic a year. I use my old landscape fabric for this. This is my old closer Salanova spacing. 6 inches in row, 6 inches in between row. That's what I found pretty much best. Typically that's just because that's what I have around, that's what I use. I've done standard bed prep on this. Put down 150 pounds of nitrogen per acre equivalent in this one bed. So I think if I remember right, that was 16 pounds of the 855 down the stretch. I also had a piece in here in the middle because at some point these got cut. So I actually went through with my new lettuce, which is actually on a wider spacing in between row, to try that, because I literally only have like 1 or 2 of these left, and it'd be a lot better system if I could use any one of those over there that I'm using for leaf lettuce to also plant my garlic in. Standard bed prep. I did use the tractor and the tiller on the back to actually prep the bed. That's because I have to plant each of these little guys 2 inches deep in order to do that and just stick it in the hole without dibbling everyone 2 inches deep, which is virtually impossible to do. I have to do a little bit deeper cultivation. So I go down about 2.5, 3 inches. Nothing super deep. And it's at the end of the season, so it doesn't really hurt all that much. I mean, it's once per bed that I do that with my one bed that cycles through the whole entire field. I mean, we disturb more ground harvesting the carrots than we do actually planting this bed of garlic. So I've got my garlic seed here. I had a whole bunch earlier because I already went through and lined out this bed with 3 different kinds I know of, and then one I'm not sure of, which is a softneck, but I also have some others in here too. I believe I have one kind here I just call hardneck. So let me show you how I plant it and the procedures to do it. It's pretty simple. And the irrigation just came on. Now, there's 2 primary ways I actually plant garlic. One, I always keep my container next to me and I have a handful in my hand. The other hand's my planting hand. So I'll get it in my planting hand, holding the basal end down. That's the top. Basal end is the point that was on the bottom of the bulb. If I can get that in shot. Grab it, there we are. So that's what goes down. This side goes up. Just grasp it in between my finger and my thumb, push it in. Do the same thing, plunge it as deep as I can basically get inside one of these holes. So I'm going from here down. So that's giving me about 2-inch depth on the bulb itself. So, or the clove itself. So I'll just continue to plant, work my way back. If you're doing a full bed, you can plug, and work your way through. Me, actually, since I'm only doing one at a time and they're all different, I've just been going off to the side and just plugging along. Seems to work the best. And since I don't do much manual planting right now this time of season, it's a lot easier on my body because these muscles back here get stretched out from planting straddled over if you don't do it continuously. Now, one thing I will mention, anytime you're planting through this landscape fabric and you're actually pushing down through it, it really wears on your hand. Like, it's starting to wear off the skin on the top of my hand, and on my knuckles are getting really chafed up. You can kind of see where the skin's burred up. That's because those holes are very rough. Same thing if you have to weed in those holes. It does the same thing to you. So, it is what it is. I can wear gloves. I don't like wearing gloves, so I don't ever do that. But now comes the easy part. I don't do anything else to this. It's planted, it's in. That's all I'm gonna do. I don't mulch it, I don't do anything. Hopefully it'll get about that tall before it gets really cold and stops it growing. I really don't like it getting much taller. I prefer it actually down towards about 1 inch or 2. But I'm mainly wanting it to make roots at this time of year. Next spring, once it starts to warm up, it'll actually start to push up. And then, let's see, I usually harvest garlic, I want to say it's around late June, early July. I start getting scapes in June. And then about early July is when I start harvesting. But I can also start harvesting in June. I just kind of watch it. And when it starts looking like it's worn out and it's not getting any bigger, then I'll go through and harvest it. And the easiest way to harvest it is, because garlic's got a nice slender plant that sticks up, I grab the landscape fabric by the bottom down here and I just literally pull it up over the top. I might have to do 1 or 2 hand weedings of the holes in the spring when the weeds really flush hard that first time. But after that, pretty much simple, nothing to worry about. I do it on the outside edges always because it's landscape fabric on the edge of the bed, and then I can mow right across this. Other than that, real trick is having enough to grow for next year. Been finding a 90-foot row was taking about 2.5 pounds of bulbs, which, if I recall right, was about 16 bulbs, I want to say, per row, because there's 720 bulbs in this bed. That's 90 foot times 6-inch centers times 4 rows. So yeah, a lot of work. Well, not really a lot of work, a lot of time to wait. Plant September, harvest later on, but super simple. Don't have to do much to it. So, hope y'all like what you saw today. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank y'all. Have a good day. So here's a little bonus. Since I do YouTube videos, I can produce a record of where I planted what, because by next summer, all this writing will be gone with spray paint. So, first row, SN, that is soft neck. That's my soft neck. That goes all the way down to the end. Next row, this only goes halfway. It's my German red. There's a bunch of small pieces that I had because I needed more seed, and that goes halfway downish. I'll walk down and show you. Next is my prime German red right here that I'm planting out. It goes all the way down the bed. Again, this one's my Spanish red, and it goes all the way down to the end of the bed. Now, this is the one great thing about doing YouTube videos, is that I have records of these things. I can go back and look when I go, oh, what did I do? I do not remember for the life of me. But even if you don't make YouTube videos, you can just make them private, and it's a record so you know what's going on. Like right here is where I switched. There's my mysterious hardneck. It goes all the way down to the end of the bed. I will come back through and I'll put a landscape staple right here so I know that that is the division line. And then the German red small goes all the way back. Because I do know 100% the spray paint does not last on these beds through the winter until summer. So there is my landscape staple. That is a dividing line in between the German red and the mysterious hardneck.